All right, just a quick follow-up video on the Gennady Golovkin, Ivanez, and Marty Rosen fight. Okay, let's kick it off. Abel Sanchez talking about Canelo and his illegal hand wraps. I mean, why is he talking about this right after that fight? I don't know, because I guess there's anticipation for the upcoming rematch that may or may not happen. I doubt it's going to happen. But like I said, Abel Sanchez, still harping on this thing. He says they put gauze on his hand and put one layer of gauze on the hand, and they put tape on top of the gauze. Sanchez said, immediately I caught that and said, whoa, 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 that's illegal. He can't do that. The inspector looked at me and said, yes, he can do that. It's called stacking, and it's illegal, okay? And it is. I mean, look, I've heard the argument. It does vary state to state, but there's an overall rule that does not allow this. And I know it's highly debated because it's kind of, it's another one of those like gray areas in boxing, is hugging and holding allowed? Mayweather can hug and hold 40, 50 times in a fight and not get called for it. But another guy, he can do it 3 or 4 times and get a point taken away. So there's a lot of gray area in boxing. But let me continue reading what he said. He said, that's illegal. He can't do that. And the inspector looked at me and said, yes, he can do that. It's called stacking. It's illegal, and you can't do that. It's creating a cast. Okay, he's basically saying when you wrap your hand up like this, you're creating a makeshift cast, which gives you a harder punch. And depending on how you do it, it will allow your knuckle to pierce and penetrate the glove so where it's like bone on bone. Okay. We kept going back and forth to the point where he threatened to throw me out of the room. So, Abel Sanchez, this is in the original fight. He's in the locker room with Canelo, and he's looking. He said, no, that's illegal. And basically, the Nevada State Athletic Commission, they're threatening, the officials are threatening to throw Abel Sanchez out of the room. Okay, but he said, they put a layer of gauze on it, and then 2 or 3 layers of tape on top of that, and then gauze, and then tape again. That is illegal. Okay, now it goes on to say, obviously the fight was allowed to proceed, but in anticipation of the issue arising once again, okay, they're talking about it may happen again, representatives from both teams met with Nevada State athletic officials to discuss the topic. Ultimately, Anthony Marnell, the chairman of the commission, and executive director Bob Bennett ruled that the method of wrapping Canelo's hands are in fact permissible under their rules NAC 467.432. Okay, they even give the the official rule document number that it is legal. But here's the thing, it's not. If you actually look up that rule and read it, it's not legal what they're doing. Okay, let me show you just a couple of quick pictures. I mean, this is Canelo's hand wrap right here. I mean, look, it looks like a 2-year-old did it, right? But it's intentional. There's I mean, come on, guys. Come on now. Look at this, okay? I mean, like I said, first of all, it does create somewhat of a cast because you have tape, gauze, tape, gauze, tape, gauze, and the way they're doing it, they're not going from the pinky knuckle to the big knuckle, around and around and around. Like when you wrap your hands, typically you start at your wrist. Okay, you go 3 or 4 times around, then you hit the knuckle 3 or 4 times around, then you go back to the wrist, then you loop your finger back around, loop your finger. Some people go across their thumb, they create like an X on their palm or an X up top, back around, and repeat. Okay, that's the traditional correct way to wrap your hands. But I mean, look at this mess. Now look, here's Gennady Golovkin. So you got Golovkin over here, you see him in the corner. Okay, look at that hand wrap right here. Okay, this is traditionally how it's done. Okay, just a nice smooth, bull nose is what we typically call like a bull nose hand wrap. Okay, you compare that to that. I mean, it's crazy to me, and like I said, it does create, a harder punch. And not only that, it can allow your dominant knuckle to pierce through your glove, and where it's like bone on bone. I mean, that's why there are rules to wrapping your hands. I mean, there's rules, okay? There's a ton of them. I mean, I'm not going to just look up 467.432. Just start with that. If you want to Google it, do a little bit of research. I've done a ton of it. and what they're doing is not legal, okay? But once again, they give Canelo a pass. He's allowed to continue. No harm, no foul. And I mean, look at this. It looks like they have like a rock on top of his knuckle with a little piece of you know, a little piece of hand wrap going across it. So it's just crazy to me. So anyway, you know, they're basically Abel Sanchez in the media trying to make sure that, you know, this doesn't happen again in a rematch. But look, I want to just quickly, it's kind of boring, but let me go over the numbers. Okay, viewers, okay, let me just the viewership. First of all, I didn't know this, okay? HBO aired the first woman's boxing match on HBO since like 1973. It's like, you know, discriminate much? You know what I mean? Way to go, HBO. You know, since 1973, I think like dinosaurs were like walking around back then. It's crazy. 1973, that was the first time a woman has been on their network, okay? Since 1973, okay? That was like back in like the disco days or whatever, you know. So but 1.3 million people tuning in to watch Gennady Golovkin fight Saturday night. Okay, basically the ratings released Tuesday showed a peak audience of 1,361,000 watch Golovkin's second round knockout. Blah, 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 blah. HBO, the brief Golovkin-Marty Rosen match watched by average of 1,249,000 viewers, despite that it began late on the East Coast at midnight. Okay, so even though it came on at like midnight on the East Coast, they still had record-breaking audience. It was the highest viewed boxing match of 2018, and it even beat Deontay Wilder, Bermain Stavern. Okay, even beat those guys. So I mean, how crazy is that? Now, the last time, I can't remember the exact numbers, but the last time they had numbers that high was when Gennady Golovkin fought Kell Brook. I believe it was Kell Brook. Let's see, HBO the first time since he stopped. England's Kell Brook in the 5th round, September 26th in London. His previous 2 fights, a narrow win over Daniel Jacobs, March 2017. Okay, so basically, you got to remember Golovkin fought live on HBO. Then he had 2 pay-per-views against Jacobs, Canelo, and then it was, I believe, Brook was the other one that had 843,000 viewers. So not bad. I mean, not bad. Think about this. There's no promotion. There's no really build-up. You know, of course, you know, you had the Canelo Golovkin build-up. Now, you know, maybe a lot of those people, you know, they were already going to tune in because they thought it was Canelo Golovkin. So I guess, you know, you could say that maybe, you know, the hype of the rematch brought a lot of people, you know, to watch this fight. Possibly, you know, it's possible. Like, if there was never any talks of a Canelo rematch, you know, would they have made those kind of numbers? You know, I doubt it. I think the fact that, you know, a lot of people were, you know, it was a highly anticipated rematch, I think that helped with their numbers. I'm just being honest. I really do. You know, so, But regardless, I mean, just some great numbers there. By the way, I want to give a shout out, Edwin Lobos. Edwin, man, he's always sending me articles, videos, pictures, you know, information. He's been a really cool friend, and I greatly appreciate everything he's done for the channel. And hopefully you're watching out there, Edwin. You know, I do appreciate everything you do. You know, sorry I can't get back to you all the time, but, you know, I mean, shit's busy. I mean, we're just so busy over here. And by the way, like I said, I'm about to start putting out quick videos, just where I can keep you guys updated. So, and, you know, we're going to focus on different topics and, you know, kind of get off the whole Canelo Golovkin thing, because I'm going to give it a break for a while unless something breaking comes out. But you know, let me just continue on a few more things. So now I want to talk about round 1. Okay, and you give me your opinion. Gennady Golovkin getting hit. You know, is it take 1 to give 1, take 2 to give 1? I mean, was there a crack in the defense? You know, a chink in the armor? What happened? Like, why was he getting hit in that round? And, you know, how long will that chin hold up? Now, who hits harder? You know, Ivanez Marty Rosen or Canelo Alvarez? You know, who knows? But, you know, look, I just didn't like it. I don't like when any boxer just kind of stands there and gets hit like that. You know, it's like there was very little head move. It's like every time Golovkin fights, there's like something fundamentally missing for me. You know, like last time, where was the body work, you know, against Canelo? You know, where was this? Where, you know, there's a few things missing. Now, and we didn't see much, round one, round two, but where was the head movement? Where was the defense? After he got caught a couple of times, he started kind of jumping back, coming in, jumping, but not a lot of head movement, but at least he was like getting in and out of the pocket, as a defensive tactic, which, it's better than just getting hit. So, one thing I didn't like, but we'll see. But we will see, because that's one thing that he really needs to to sharpen up on. And and we heard all the little YouTube channels barking, making a bunch of noise about Charlo, Andre, or Demetrius Andrade, Irizlandi Lara, all these people that Golovkin should have fought. But again, you guys have, I'm just going to drill it in your head. You had 3.5, maybe 4 weeks, not even 4 weeks of promotion. These guys like Charlo, they're not going to take a fight on 3 and 4 weeks. I mean, now they're saying 2.5 weeks for Vons Monterosa, because by the time they got down to a deal, it was only 2.5 weeks out. So look, there's so many. I mean, I'm just tired of hearing people, give Golovkin a bunch of shit. They did the best they could do on, a handful of days. I mean, literally a handful of days. So I think all in all, they basically salvaged a terrible situation. I don't want to get too deep in it. You guys can watch my other videos, whatever. But, like I said, I think they salvaged, what could be salvaged, made the best of it. And here we are. Here we are. Now, let's talk about the IBF real quick, and then I'm going to hop off here. Okay. If you don't know, okay, Sergey Darvincheko, everybody's like favorite boxer, that I'm telling you, like they didn't even know who this guy was 3 damn weeks ago. But anyway, the IBF granted an extension. Basically, Gennady Golovkin will owe him a title defense in August. But what's going to happen? Okay, you got Canelo coming back in September. So does that mean that Gennady Golovkin will have to vacate, or are they going to strip him from the IBF? And then maybe, Sergey Darvincheko can fight for the vacant IBF, and then he'll have it. And then what? Then, I mean, think about how crazy things, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Think about how crazy this shit can get. Okay, imagine, let's say he vacates, he loses his belt, whatever it may be, right? Then what? He beats Canelo. Okay, then what? Go after Billy Joe Saunders for the WBO, and whoever, maybe they fight for the vacant IBF, and now he's got to go get that. What happens? What happens? Or here's the best. I'll give you best case, worst case scenario. I'll hop off here. Best case scenario is they can work a deal with the IBF, because the IBF, they don't allow any kind of step aside money, meaning they can't give Sergey Darvincheko any kind of step aside money, but maybe they can negotiate a deal to where Triple G can hang on to that belt for a little bit longer. If maybe they get a contract together, and guarantee, the mandatory, his fight. I don't know. I mean, that's one possibility. To me, it really looks like, I hate to say it, but and it's tricky. I mean, what would you do if you're Golovkin? Would you take a $20 million payday against Canelo, or would you go fight a mandatory for $1 million? I mean, it's tough. And the whole time you're telling all of your fans, belts, belts, belts. It's about legacy. I want all the belts, blah, 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 blah. But when it comes down to it, money talks, bullshit walks, right? So, I don't know what's going to happen. What is going to happen? I mean, all we can do is wait and see. That's all we can do. But, I hope they get look, you guys remember me telling you this, that IBF is going to be a big deal in the future. Okay. Also, I watched a video off topic. I watched a video of Jamal Charlo and Daniel Jacobs like going at it. I mean, they're like arguing back and forth, and I'm going to make a video talking about that. I got a Manny Pacquiao video coming up. And I really want to get in deep to the upcoming Loma fight, okay, with the Linares. So Linares Loma fight, because that's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be his biggest test. And Linares, man, he's looking good, looking really good. So I'm excited for that. Hopefully you guys are too, because like I said, I'm going to really highlight that on the channel. The next Loma fight. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. Just wanted to do a little bit of catching up tonight, say hello, get my name back out there, get my videos going again. And like I said, look for a bunch of short ones, because I'm going to be doing a bunch of 4 and 5 minute videos just to get caught up. But I'll kind of do longer ones on the Lomachenko fight. So anyway, guys, leave it below, and thank you for watching.